contacted Mayor Buddy Dyer to extend not only our sympathies and prayers, because you can't get your arms around something like this, whether it's one person or, as it has turned out, 49 people who were just taken from the world without an opportunity to live their lives and enjoy what we continue to be able to do here. And to extend to him and to everybody in Orlando, and beyond our sympathies and prayers, our offers of support. We will be down there. We go places. We are really committed. And all of us, whether we're in the social service area or just residents and people here in our community, we lend hands, and that's what we do. We're not just words and lack of action. I see Deacon Tom in the audience shaking his head, and he goes everywhere, anywhere, as would each of us. And so I wanted Mayor Dyer and all the residents to know, you have family here in Las Vegas, and we sympathize with you, and we're praying. And so my hope is from all of this, once again, for heaven's sakes, what are we going to do to get our arms around the hatred, jealousies, rigidity, and intolerance that continues to pervade the entire world? What can we do about it? It's a whole different time than it was 25 years ago. Hatred was there, but it certainly wasn't isolated individuals doing things of such heinous nature. And so I'm sure you've all been out and been in different vigils and memorials and thinking about this all the time. And while I know you've been asked to spend a moment in quiet reverence and prayer, I'm going to ask you tonight, we all go to sleep. And when you get in your bed tonight, that's where I really want you to think about the faces of every one of those young people and middle-aged people who really never had a chance. And this is the moment right now. We could all do it, but it's just a moment. When you get in bed, know how lucky you are, and know that it's called upon by you from a higher way. You have to do something. And it's not that together we can't stand united saying the words, but it is really always about our individual actions. And we see this happening again and again and again. And I can assure you, it's going to happen again. And who's going to be pinpointed? Who's going to be the scapegoat next time? Is it somebody who's just been terminated from a job, or somebody that we think, my God, I just saw them a few days ago and they were so normal? So it really is, it's about looking around yourselves in a bigger sense and taking responsibility, not as an alarmist. But when you know somebody's filled with hatred and anger, you've got to reach out and get some help. We don't want to put anybody in a position that's life-threatening to any of us. But you know it. You know when somebody's having an issue. And we have the best support systems here. Our law enforcement, all parts of it, our fire and rescue, we all have personnel that are really equipped to be listeners. And if in fact it's somebody that you know and you're living in a particular area, there's a problem, in addition to all the resources that are out there, you don't know where to go with the information, please call one of your council people, or call my office, or call somebody anywhere. Just don't turn your head away and think maybe it will go away. So from all of us here in Las Vegas, and from all of us that care about life and humanity and tolerance and positive forces, on behalf of all of us, I hope everybody in Orlando and around this country knows what we stand for here. And so I thank you all for being with us today. And just remember tonight, when you have the luxury of getting into your bed, think and say a prayer for each one of those people and anybody right now that's in harm's way, and make a commitment to do what you can do. I mean, I look out here and I see His Honorable Kern from our municipal courts, And I know all he does every single day to help people who have challenges, to teach people how to be more tolerant in life and more accepting. So every day, just what can I do that I didn't do today? And so say the prayers tonight, and please say them every night. It's just not one moment in time. It is forever. So wait a 1 second while I clip what our city clerk clips so nicely. Agenda item 50, resolution R26-216, for possible action to approve a resolution affirming the city's commitment to diversity and an open and inclusive community, all wards. Purpose, background: City of Las Vegas has a long history of leadership in terms of inclusion characterized by employee benefits, hiring practices, award-winning adaptive recreation program. The city recently earned a 100-point ranking from the Human Rights Campaign on its Municipal Equality Index score that recognizes the city's accomplishments. The City Council is asked to support the resolution acknowledging the city's commitment to diversity and an open and inclusive community for our citizens, visitors, and businesses. And so, good morning.
Good morning, Mayor and Council. For the record, Ted Oliva's Chief of Staff. You said everything. I'm done. No,
You're never at a loss for words.
that's true. This resolution, as you know, is an affirmation of our commitment to diversity and an open and inclusive community. We thought that it's appropriate for us to do this after we earned a 100-point ranking from the Human Rights Campaign on its Municipal Equality Index score. The mayor mentioned that. That was a pretty significant achievement for us, and our own Adrena Ramos-King was involved here in helping us coordinate that effort on behalf of the city. So we're thankful for her efforts in that regard. If you look at the resolution, it just talks about our history of leadership and inclusion, talks about adaptive recreation, it talks about benefits, programs, and policies, it talks about our belief in worth and dignity of every human being, it talks about how we promote greater stability and understanding of collective differences and similarities. It also recognizes the fact that we did earn that 100 points. Not everybody got the 100 points. There were other cities nationwide, the average was 56 points. We almost doubled that. And for the Nevada cities that participated, their average score was 73 points. So this is very significant for us. In addition, as an employer, it talks about the fact that we embrace and encourage our employees' differences in age, color, disability, ethnicity, family and marital status, gender identity or expression, language, national origin, physical and mental ability, political affiliation, race, religion, sexual orientation, social economic status, veteran status, and other characteristics that make us unique. That's significant. And this is something that we live with on a day-to-day basis as employees. And finally, among other things, it talks about that all employees are expected to exhibit conduct that reflects inclusion. We have some guests with us today that would like to address the council. We have Michael Dimengo from the center. He's the CEO of the center. And we also have Jeremy Wallace, who's a representative from the Human Rights Campaign, that with your indulgence, Mayor, would like to say a few comments.
So we would love that, and we appreciate it, and thank you for those really moving comments that you've made. And so we welcome you, Mr. Dimengo, and Mr. Wallace. So, but despite that fact, if you will specifically say your name for our record.
Absolutely.
Please.
Mayor Goodman, ladies and gentlemen of the City Council, City Manager Betsy Fredwell, ladies and gentlemen of the City Administration. My name is Michael Dimengo. I'm the CEO of the Gay and Lesbian Center of Southern Nevada. And I'm here with several very dedicated members of our staff, as well as several members of the LGBT community who are here present. First and foremost, I want to express our appreciation to the City Administration in the wake of this past weekend's Orlando tragedy. several of the city administration personally, and the mayor, the city manager, were present with the LGBTQ community this past weekend, and we are grateful. I've received several notifications from safety forces, personally assuring our community of their extra watchfulness of our community. And I thank you for that resolve to protect our community at a time when emotions are very raw. And I have to say that we are grateful for the very resolution that is in front of you for your passage. It's rather ironic that that resolution and the work, the compiling of that, has been in the works for weeks by city staff and administration. And it becomes all the more compelling in the wake of what has taken place in the city of Orlando. We are grateful. We are grateful for your leadership. We are grateful for your reaching out. This is a time of extreme sadness and anger for our community. So your leadership and your support assuages that anger, and it comforts us in our loss. At the same time, I would be remiss if I didn't report to you that this community is becoming ever more emboldened by what has taken place in Orlando. We will press on to achieve our rights. We will press on to achieve what we consider to be simple recognition of our genuineness as human beings. And that recognition really requires everyone in the community to respect that. I am here to urge your passage of the resolution that is in front of you. Your resolution, it speaks of respect for the diversity of others. It speaks for inclusion. And we believe that statements of diversity, statements of inclusion, principles by which we act, telegraphs to a wider community that we must all respect, that we must all have dignity and respect for the well-being of others. In the wake of what's happened in Orlando, and in the very month of June, which the LGBTQ community commemorates as Pride Month for ourselves, we recognize that pride is a byproduct, not of just tolerance, but it's a byproduct of acceptance. Pride exudes from the human spirit. When people are respected, they feel at home, they feel safe, and they feel secure. So by your statement in front of you, affirming diversity, affirming inclusion, you're basically stating that there is no room for discrimination in the policies and the procedures of city government in this community. There's no room for separation. And this discrimination, to its worst extent, develops and deteriorates into the hatred that we saw in Orlando. So the very statement of support that you put together weeks ago is even more compelling for which you should act. On behalf of our LGBTQ community, on behalf of all people seeking recognition, on behalf of those victims of Orlando whose voices are now silenced, I urge you, please, to pass this resolution and to declare to our entire community that we are open and affirming. Thank you very much.
Good morning, Mr. Wallace. Good morning, and thank you, Mayor Goodman and the City Council members, for giving me a chance to speak to you this morning. My name is Jeremy Wallace, and I'm here on behalf of the Human Rights Campaign, which is the nation's largest LGBTQ civil rights organization. Locally, I am a member of the HRC Las Vegas Steering Committee, as well as co-chair for community engagement. And on behalf of HRC, we want to thank the city of Las Vegas in advance for passing this resolution and affirming the city council's continued commitment to diversity, openness, and inclusion. And I want to also point out and recognize, as I've mentioned before, about achieving 100 points on our HRC 2015 Municipal Equality Index. Also, Las Vegas is the first municipality in the state of Nevada to do so. And thank you so much. That municipality equality index rating is extremely important to all of us who live here in Las Vegas because it is a commitment that this is an inclusive place for all LGBTQ individuals to live and to work. Now, this resolution also means something to me personally. I've been a member of the LGBTQ community for the last 2 decades. For the last 8 years as a transgender man, and almost the years prior, I identified as a lesbian. So this is very important to me. This is my home. And with the numerous discriminatory and harmful and downright hateful bills that we have seen sweep across the nation, I am very proud to call Las Vegas my home. And especially in the light of the recent tragedy in Orlando, which has touched us deeply. I want to thank you and the city for your continued dedication to not only stand up for, but to stand with the LGBTQ community, making Las Vegas a city where all are welcome, no matter who we are or who we love. Thank you.
In our home. Las Vegas is a longtime leader when it comes to diversity and openness, taking a firm stand in non-discrimination in all areas. And this applies twofold now, both as a community and us here as a public organization. Externally, our city is known for the wonderful cultural diversity that we enjoy. It has been called the melting pot of melting pots, meaning our city by itself is representative of what America stands for. A place that should be and must be welcoming to all people from all walks of life and all corners of the globe. Las Vegas is home to a diverse population in age, ethnicity, race, religion, socioeconomic status, sexual orientation, gender identity, and special needs. We pride ourselves in how we extend the greatest hospitality to everyone, doing that in total 100% truth, going out of our way to welcome visitors and businesses, new businesses coming in, and reassuring those who choose to live here that we are in fact that. Internally, as an employer, we're strong and of course led by our wonderful city manager, Betsy Fretwell, who was just recently honored by the Human Rights Campaign for helping the city achieve that perfect score on that Municipal Equality Index. Scale, as you know, measures non-discrimination in city employment, in offering of transgender inclusive healthcare benefits, recognizing same-sex partners for benefits, and establishing city contractor non-discrimination ordinances. Early on, the city's leadership took a public position on LGBTQ equality and helped establish the Gay and Lesbian Community Center in Southern Nevada on Maryland Parkway. Two, we've long been known for our cutting-edge adaptive recreational programming, which has served as a model for people around the world. So both as an employer and as a community, everyone knows that they feel they've been the target of discrimination or a victim of a wrongdoing. There is a course of action, and it will be swift, and it will be just. For our employees, our management, and human resources staff are here to listen and to take action. In our community, our law enforcement agencies, from our marshals to our metropolitan law enforcement to our FBI, they are and always will be here to protect us all and protect you all. Endorsing this resolution is an important way for us to stand together and voice that we have a chance publicly to show how much we value all peoples, all the time, and all the differences that they bring to this beautiful place. And so I move for the adoption of this resolution, but certainly would like to provide time to any council member who would like to make comment. Councilman Coffin, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm proud to have the honor of representing the center it's in Ward 3 in the heart of downtown Las Vegas. And so we're lucky that the community chose the downtown for, I think, very good reasons. Recognizing that we are a welcoming city and that the core of our city is the most welcoming area of all. I've lived here so many years. I've seen discrimination of all kinds, and we're still not out of the age of discrimination. Certainly that applies racially, and it applies in gender. But we as a city have to be the leaders. We have to be the ones who say that that is wrong and why, and then we practice what we say, so that we might encourage others. I was looking at, we've had a lot of mayors over the years. Jan Jones was mayor. Jan, I think, was one of the first who raised this issue as a city leader and realized that she and the successor mayors, you and Oscar B. Goodman, Your Honor, have made sure that the city has been in the forefront of inclusion. As one who has had, my late brother died 34 years ago, and this is how times have changed. I didn't know that he was gay while he was alive. I had to be told that the day after he died. So how things have changed. Legislative arguments that occurred while I was in Carson City had a great deal to do with this. We had, and still have, a gay member of the Senate who was condemned personally by another member of the Senate who happened to be a pastor in a church. That's only, 7-8 years ago. So things are in flux, but they're really wonderful to explore. Mayor, we don't choose our gender. And that's one of the big things I think that people are starting to understand, that it is really not something we pick. We're born with it. We may look like a woman, we may look like a man, but in a sense, it's the exterior appearance. But in fact, what we're finding out more and more is that so many people were never the gender that they thought they were, and they're never the gender their parents thought they were. And it is something you learn when you grow into your skin and you find out about how things work. It isn't just a choice. You don't simply say, I'd like to be gay, I'd like to be bisexual, I could go to more parties if I'm bisexual, right? No, it isn't that way at all. It is really a thing we're discovering with the help of science, that we're becoming more welcoming of the differences. And so this isn't just tolerance involved here, it's knowledge. And that means helping those who are ignorant find the knowledge. And we like the way with this resolution, as other actions have taken place in the city through our hiring practices and through all the contract practices that you have mentioned, Your Honor. Your words today were extremely eloquent on the murder in Orlando caused by a person who, we will never know what drove it. But in this day and age, when people blame a religion because a member of a religion kills people, we have really reached a point where we must put the brakes on what's happening in society. Hitler did that quite well in the 20s and 30s. And today we have a man running for president who would like nothing better than to turn us against a religion. Now the Catholics have had their turn as whipping boys, and God knows the Jews have had it worse of all because of their religion. We have ethnic groups. We have ethnic groups right now being condemned. But to condemn on religion is a sign of a base instinct that we must stamp out. But we have to do it through teaching and example. And that's what I believe we will see as this summer comes along, and we will find out how people truly feel about discrimination of all kinds. So thank you very much for letting me speak, Your Honor.
I'll be
Thank
brief.
you. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. I want to say that I think the city of Las Vegas is the standard bearer. Mr. Dimengo, Mr. Wallace, you were both very eloquent. This says a great deal of who we are and our leadership in regards to Ms. Fretwell and her team and who we are in the city of Las Vegas. I think all of us sitting up here have someone in mind that you love very much that is part of this community, and I think we're all affected by it. Betsy, you've done a fabulous job in steering this city in the right direction. This is a statement for me, from the city of Las Vegas to the rest of the world, not just Nevada, not just the United States, but the rest of the world, that we care. And we wrap our arms around everybody. Mayor, just you said, we're developing five, right? That's who we are. I think that says a lot about the leadership of this city and how we run the city. But it's a message to the LGBTQ community that we care, we love you, you're part of us. And you two took all the words right out of my mouth. I've got nothing more to say, Mayor. Your statement was just right on the money. Having members of my family that are gay that have shown great courage in their challenge. And they are very well loved by their family members and by the gay association. So I want to applaud you guys for being here today. Everything you said and put on the record today is just perfect. And I'm looking forward to pushing the yes button when the time comes to supporting the mayor's motion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, Councilwoman.
I just wanted to add that I totally support what you and Mayor Pro Tem have done and has stated. I had close friends when I was in California many, many years ago, and they had a rough time of it. We became close friends because I paid no attention to it. And so I know a lot that you've gone through, and I also want to mention that one thing this resolution is it also includes those with special needs. And I think most of you know I've spent a lifetime working with those with special needs, and they still don't have what they need. And when things get cut back in the school district or something's not quite right, it seems to fall in cutting something with those special needs. So I wanted to mention that, and particularly the needs of the mentally ill. And you know, I was in Mass Sunday, and I saw someone who obviously, to me, had some problems emotionally and mentally, and nobody reached out to him. I was too far back in the pews, but nobody reached out to him, but I saw the faces they made. And I was thinking at that time, they don't understand, nobody's offering help. So we have lots to do in so many areas. Congratulations on the progress you've made, and hopefully we'll be able to do the same in other areas too.
Thank you, Councilwoman. And with that, I am making the motion that the city and city council support this resolution and move for its approval.